in the back, sort of. Yes. Did we audition for Resident Evil, or were we sought out and then called and offered?
Audition. Most projects come through, even when a director wants you. For the most part, you still audition for the part. Not always. Sometimes some studios would offer for really familiar with your work, but with Resident Evil, it was an audition process. I remember sitting in the room amongst a bunch of other really talented actors, also with the same characters, and that's a little disconcerting. But it's also fun. So yeah, audition.
Yeah, I definitely auditioned, and even at the time, they thought we were doing a voice match for the little girl that was in the movie. So I voice matched the little girl, and then they realized that they didn't want that, so we changed it. But I did audition thinking that that's what we were going to do, and then we ended up changing it.
I auditioned a couple times, actually, I think, for the last game. Yeah, we still audition a lot. I know when we're sitting up at this table, you're like, oh, they must just get calls all the time, and people are just like, here, how does this work? I think I can say, you know, we audition all the time.
Yeah. There's not enough scarf songs to make great yet, so we're working on that, though.
One day.
I actually, it's such a small role, they just called me up. I was mostly like filling various characters' voices or whatever for zombies and people dying. And I think Brad Vickers was just one there like, hey, and he talks a little bit. So yeah, it was just a call, so it wasn't really that, like I didn't have to audition for that character. But most of the time, don't come in, it was like, hey, who do you Johnny for this? Like, you know, I always audition. Oh, right here. Sorry, right here. Is it right there? No! Fight! Right here, yes.
Do you think it was easier or more difficult to prepare for serious roles versus some of your other more relaxed or sillier roles?
Easier or more difficult to prepare for serious roles?
Versus your more relaxed, sillier roles and other stuff.
Well, it depends on the show, really. But I guess, me relaxed might be different from what would be relaxed for them, you know? Like for me, relaxed would be like a character that doesn't talk a whole lot, it's just all reactions, you know? Just a lot of, so yeah, it would be more preparation for something a little more serious. But usually, if it's a good script and, the scene is good, and depending on the situation, if you're with other actors, a lot of things I guess that kind of factor in. But usually just good story and good script, you're feeling it, and you just get into it.
Also, a lot of times, unless it's a character that's going to be having several sessions, you may only have one session to go in. So it's really hard to sort of prepare before you go in because you don't know what the script is, you don't really know about the situation. So there's not a lot of preparation you can do beforehand, unless it's a character that you already know. And if it's a character you already know, you're familiar enough with the character to know what you need for yourself. So usually I would say, for the most part, unless you're doing something repeatedly, you don't really get to prepare before you go in. You sort of show up, the director gives you as much information as they can, and you just hit the ground running and you go for it.
Yeah, most of our job is cold reading. Very, very few projects when we get a script in advance, and we relish those when they do happen. But for the most part, just go in, like, all right, you're 27, your parents are killed by demons, you want revenge, go. And you just, top line, okay, and you just start going through. So a lot of it's just kind of having to make bold choices and run. So.
They let you use zombie voices just for the hell of it. Not even just for the hell of it, but they had me do some anyway because there's so many zombies.
Yeah.
They'll have a lot of the actors do zombie stuff to help film it. Plus, I like doing zombie voices.
It also depends how much time you have in your session, because if you've got a lot of moves as a character and they use up the time for your session just doing your character, they won't have you do auxiliary characters. But if you have maybe an extra half an hour at the end of your session and they booked you for more time, then they may say, hey, will you do some additional lines. And so then you may do lines as a zombie or just generic, like, oh my god, the zombies are coming sort of person.
But for the Degeneration movie, they actually they had a session that was just zombie stuff, or that where it was dedicated to. I've never had that before. It's always been sort of like do this, but also do some zombies. It was just because I guess.
Yeah, we got to at the end of one of the Resident Evil 6 sessions. We had about a half an hour extra, so we decided to do some zombie stuff. We were doing facial motion capture for Leon, and they needed facial motion capture for zombie faces too. So I got to be there in the booth doing the same voice, but also doing the. That was kind of fun.
Plans for any future Resident Evil games?
We have plans to do them if they ask us to and audition for them, because then that would be being paid.
Yeah, I would love to do another Resident Evil game. Just put that out there.
We don't usually get to make the plans. They make the plans, and then we see if we fit.
Come on back over to the side, and then yes, you back there.
Would you say the dog in Resident Evil 4?
Would you save the dog in Resident Evil 4? I always save the dog. That's just who I am.
Unless it's like angry dog.
A zombie dog.
I'm likely to save the angry dog and get killed anyway. That's just,
No, take the dog down. I just wanted to see everyone's reaction.
I mean, is there food then? I mean, it might be wise to take the dog with you. Some
Old zombie yeller. Yes.
Yes.
Was I aware that Finn was going to die so early in Resident Evil 6?
Spoilers.
Right. And, you probably had enough time to play it, and you're in this panel, so you probably. And if not, then I'm sorry, but Finn dies, and now you'll just be sad as soon as you meet him if you haven't done the game yet. Oh my god, he's so nice, why's he gonna die? Because everybody dies. Yeah, because he's nice. If Game of Thrones is taught us nothing. So, they don't always tell me that stuff. I've been caught off guard in many a session, and sometimes it's on a show where I'm, on the show for a while, and then all of a sudden, oh, surprise, this person dies, that person dies, you die. I was a little heartbroken as it came up because it was a total surprise. It was like, okay, here's your death scene. Wait, you didn't tell me. I sort of gathered, and it's mostly because he's the rookie guy who, it was such a stereotype that I've seen 1,000 times. I kind of suspected that he was not going to, come to a good end. But actors love death scenes. Actors love to die more than almost anything. Play villains and die. And so I'm always up for a good death. What is it they say at the end of the imposters? Something about all an actor really wants to be right. It's a good death. That's also Dark Knight, isn't it? This would be a good life, good death. Something like that. Sorry guys, it's not just us up here. It's morning. By us, I mean me. About all the way in the back of the room. Yes.
We can come back.
Yeah, we can. If you want to go, there was somebody right next to you. Yeah, and then we can come back to you.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
If they do, get killed in the unseen orders.
Yes, I did. Do I think